Hello and welcome to this ALINT-PRO tutorial. My name is Brandon, and today I'll be showing you the policy editor within ALINT-PRO. Now, the policy editor is a very important feature within the tool, as it is essentially going to be the place where you can define just how high quality your linting results will be. And this will be done by enabling, disabling, or even editing those rules within your policies. So with that, let's go ahead and get into the tutorial. We can access the policy editor by going to Tools, Preferences, and under linting here will be the policy editor. This will show our global policies, as we are currently looking at the global settings. When working at the project level, we can access the policy editor by right-clicking on that project and selecting Properties and navigating to the editor, like so. Now within this view, we can see all the policies we have installed, along with all those rules associated with them. From here, we can enable, disable, and even edit those rules, like so. Changing the values of certain parts of the rules, such as enabling case sensitivity to be true or false on this rule here, allows you to really customize and mold the policies to best fit your company's standards. Not only can we change certain rules configurations, but we can also modify every rule's severity level value, as well as rule level. For example, if you want a certain type of violation to completely stop your tickle script, you can change that rule to have an error severity. Along with editing, we can completely enable or disable certain rules as well. This will help limit the violations you encounter, should you wish to disable those rules that don't apply to your type of design. Additionally, this will impact the quality report. That is the report showing how compliant a design is, as it will only compare your designs to those rules that you do have enabled. Now, some rules have quite a few configuration options, and with there being so many rules available, one might want to find more information on a given rule. This information is available through the Rule Description Viewer, which can be accessed by simply right-clicking on the rule you wish to know more about and selecting Show Rule Description. From this view, we can see all the information available about this rule, including its phase, level, relevant tags, and a problem description, as well as those configuration options along with the description of what they do. Even more useful, we can see examples of violations of these rules, along with an example of how to fix that violation. Overall, if you're curious about a rule, when developing your customized policies, the Rule Description Viewer is the place to check out. Now, knowing how to find information about a rule is useful, but let's now see how to find that particular rule. The policy editor has a number of ways of organizing rules to make them easier to find, and these different views can be found at the top here. They include a rule set view, a rules view, and a rules level view. In fact, from the rules level view, we can modify this value by simply dragging a rule to the desired rule level. Of course, there is also a search function, should you not know the category that a rule falls under. Let's say you're interested in those rules concerning the labels within your code. Using the search function to look up rules containing label within their description of the rule is a good way to find these types of rules. And finally, we also have some filters available here, allowing us to show or hide those rules that are enabled, as well as a filter to show or hide those rules that have been modified from their default values. As you can see, these changes are represented by a bold font here. It's also nice to show that any changes that you do make can always be restored by simply right-clicking on the modification and selecting Set Default Values. Now, as you have seen, there are quite a few rules that can be applied to your linting process, and going through them all can be quite a cumbersome task. Fortunately, developing your policies can be done during the linting process through the connections between the policy editor and the violation viewer. From the policy editor, we can see which rules are actually being violated by right-clicking on those rules and showing their violations. Of course, we can access the policy editor from the violation viewer as well, simply by right-clicking on that violations rule and selecting Focus in Policy Editor. And from here, we can make all of those changes as shown earlier. So once we do have all of our changes applied to our policies, we just now need a way of saving this configuration. Of course, the settings themselves are saved whenever you save your project, but if we have multiple configurations that we'd like to switch between, depending on the nature of a design, or if you want to distribute a certain configuration, we can use the export policy option to do that. Clicking this button here will generate a script that, when ran, will set up the project's policy with all of those same edits to any of the rules that you have made it. I'll demonstrate this by simply going through and disabling everything. And then from here, I can simply run our generated scripts, which, after being executed, just goes through everything and sets up our policy just as it was before. And we can even see that those modified rules are saved as well. And that'll actually be it on this tutorial of the policy editor. Be sure to check it out to get the best results out of your linting process. And of course, thanks for watching.